Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing my 177th Mezco Toyz 112 Collective action figure review, this time being of the Hazard Squad Death Adder. Now, as we can see, this figure comes in a really nice box with some incredible artwork featuring Death Adder and a bunch of black skulls. And if we turn the box around, even more great artwork of Death Adder. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and let him breathe.
Alright guys, now here is Death Adder out of the box. Now this was my personal vote when they voted which next member of the Hazard Squad that we were going to get. I personally voted for Death Adder here because he just looks so freaking cool, man. This guy is a black snake character, very Snake Eyes-esque from G.I. Joe. You'll see some comparisons with that later on, but just such a cool looking design, dude. I love the head sculpts that we've been given here. I think they look so awesome. I love how he has like an eye patch over his eye, and again, I'll show you more of that in a little bit here, but that just looks so good. And this is almost like slight metallic dry brushing over it, so it makes it look really awesome and really creepy. That one red eye right there looks super good as well, and I absolutely love the suit that they used for this guy. So if you take a closer look at certain areas, you'll see some like printing on the suit, the fabric suit itself, but they have this like scale like pattern on there. If my camera would actually focus on there, you can kind of see right there as to what I'm talking about. But even here, like on the elbow, which is really cool, kind of like all wrapped around, it has this almost like snake-like pattern. You see some like diamond pattern back here. Again, if my camera would actually bother to focus, you'll see some diamond-like pattern back there on the suit itself. Just looks super cool, man. I really dig this. And because it's black, it's gonna attract dust like a mofo, my god. But still, I love all the pouches and straps and everything that we do get here, all looking totally badass. I went ahead and put his pistol in there. You do have a little area right here on his strap for his leg where you can put some extra ammo. You can store his sword on the back like that. Just very awesome. I love the detail on the boots as well. Those look really nice, man. The texture on those look really good. I love the mixture of flat blacks and like the glossy black. I think that looks really cool. Really nice tread on the feet. This is just a cool looking character, man. Really hoping we can get all the members of the Hazard Squad because I do want all of them. But this is one that I definitely had to have first. He just looks really cool. One thing I will note, you pretty much have to assemble this guy pretty much all together. He comes pretty bare bones. So all the straps that you see all over him, even the harness over his chest here, are all things that you need to put on him. And it says in the little instructions that these pouches, things like that, aren't attached to these straps. So they do come off. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know why they did that, but it is a pain in the butt. And I've noticed when I'm posing him around that these things will pop off, like even this will pop off, you know what I mean? Even the holster right here for his little communication device will pop off when they're trying to pose him around, and then trying to get these things back on while the straps are on the figure is almost impossible. So you really have to pull the straps back off, then put these pouches back on, and then get the strap back on over the arms or legs or whatever it may be. And you'll know what I'm talking about once you get him in hand. It's a little bit of pain in the butt, but it still looks incredible because the payoff is totally worth it, man. I'm just super happy for this one. This is one of those very unique Mezco, original IP figures that I think a lot of people are really going to love. Now, moving on to the accessories here, we of course do get the circular base stand, which I always love with my Mezco figures. We of course get the standard Hazard Squad logo on there, and of course it comes with a clear articulated arm. We also do get a bunch of interchangeable hands, like closed-fisted hands, more open gripping hands, trigger finger hands, things like that, loose palm hands, all the stuff you're gonna really need to get some really dynamic poses, which I always love what Mezco does. But then we get a bunch of interchangeable heads. So the standard head looks really good, again, just closed mouth, looking awesome with the eye patch over it like that, looks really good. But then we get this one that has almost like a snarling face to it, because you see the teeth, kind of the fangs kind of popping out a little bit, and you can see his gums. That one's going to be more for holding up his cigars that we do get. You can take any of the cigars. Again, we do have multiple ones with or without a smoke effect. You can pop those in there, looking really cool. We also do get a bunch of extra eye patches, which is fun. So I love the fact that you have the different options to do so. We also get a head sculpt with the open mouth. Again, just looking so gnarly. The tongue sticking out, looking really cool. And I will say, trying to put the tongues in fresh out of the box, trying to peg them in a little hole in the mouth right there, can be of a pain in the butt. So what I suggest is you heat up the head itself under some hot water or whatever your preference is. Heat up the head individually and then pop the tongue in, and it'll go in a lot smoother. Just be careful because you don't want to bend or break your tongue trying to pop it into the little ball peg right there. But then we have that really gnarly head where it's just unhinged lower jaw, the mouth is fully wide open, tongue sticking out, fangs out, looking gnarly as he wants to look. I freaking love that head sculpt, man. So we're gonna pop this one off right here, and we're gonna go ahead and put that head sculpt on. What is cool, again, you can see that he has no eye on that side of his face. You can take one of these eye patches that come with a figure, and you can see there's a little bit of an indentation around the head where you can see that the strap will actually fit over. So it's pretty cool that they have the options. They do pop off a little bit on some of the head sculpts and when you're like posing it around and stuff, but it's not a big issue. It looks really cool once you have it on, but even having it off looks pretty gnarly. Now, continuing with accessories, he does come with a full arsenal. So we do get things like grenades, that really cool, unique sword. That is a sword we've never seen with another figure from Mezco before. We do get that awesome pistol, a little communicating device. But we do get things like that pump action shotgun, which is, again, nothing new. We've actually seen that with a couple other figures, but I believe it first came out with a Blade figure. Same thing with that larger like machine gun, minigun, whatever you want to call it. That is the same gun we've seen again previously with a Blade figure, and then you get those little hook blades all looking really cool. Now the thing that I like about this, and again this is where Mezco shines, especially when it comes to the accessories, this shotgun actually pumps. I think it's really cool, and it has an actual nylon string to put over the shoulder and loop it on so you can hold on to it. That's really cool. But we also do get a bunch of effect pieces for those different types of gun, which I love. Those are always so fun. More of those with every figure that comes with a gun. And you can take those effects, they just plug into the barrel like so. And you can get all kinds of ways, firing multiple bullets. You can get a larger burst like that. So the options are very, very cool. But I really, really do like these little hooked blades. He comes with 2 of those. These are probably the ones I'm going to pose him with because I just think that's so dope. So different from other figures that we've received from Mezco. So these are probably my favorite weapons that he actually has. Now let's move on to the articulation here. I think that's what everybody's kind of wondering, how articulated this thing actually is. So the head and the neck are on separate ball pegs, so you can look up about that far, which is pretty good. Down all the way that much. Can rotate left and right, and then pivot and side to side very, very nicely. Arms can go all the way up that far, down to the side, up and out very nicely. You should go pretty far like that. There is a very nice butterfly joint in there. We can rotate at the bicep. We got double jointed elbows that work very good. Rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. It does feel like we got a double ball peg in the midsection that goes down to his crotch and one into his chest. So that rolls around fairly good. Does turn left and right a decent amount. Pivot side to side, okay. Leans back about that far. Forward, you're looking about that much, which is okay. I wish that was a little bit better. Hip twisted kick forward that much. Back, not so much. Splits out about there. I wish that was a little more. Rotation in upper thigh. Double jointed knees where he could almost kick himself in his own butt. Rotation at the boot. Ankles are on ball pegs, so those roll around. Up, down, rotate, and a pretty decent ankle rocker. So overall, I'm very happy with this. Like, very, very happy with this. I love the Mezco IP characters, that they're so unique, so different. And I know a lot of people are just going to say, well, this guy's just a Snake Eyes knockoff. Yeah, maybe, but is that a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. This dude is an actual freaking snake. You know what I mean? So how cool is that? Snake teaming up with a roach, kicking some Black Skull butt. I love it so much. I'm just so ready to get more of that squad. He is just such a fun figure, and I think you'll absolutely love him for your collections.
So for a quick size comparison, here he is sitting next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is sitting next to a Hazard Squad Gomez and a Black Skull. And for even more comparison, here he is sitting next to a G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of Death Adder. Now overall, I think this is a really badass figure, man. I mean, come on, he's a snake who's also some type of commando assassin who smokes cigars. That's pretty cool. I love that. The design is incredible, very sleek. I love the attention to detail in the soft goods with the snake scales. I think that's really awesome. I do love all the pouches and holsters and things like that. It is a pain in the butt that they do come off fairly easy when posing them around, so just be mindful of that. But the head sculpts are fantastic, especially the ones with a wide open mouth and the tongue sticking out. Those look super gnarly. The articulation works very well. You get a great arsenal of weapons from guns to knives. I think all of it is just perfect. Again, I cannot wait to add more members to the Hazard Squad team, as this is one truly awesome piece, and I think he is definitely a must get. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.